Alright, I started working on this place here. I just decided to weld it up. I tried to TIG weld it, blew a big old hole in it. I really don't know how to do that, so I backed off and just MIG welded it. I just got to polish this up now. I put my filler on here. Man, it looks like a clown did it. It was getting dark. It's really just a super bad job. I can't do that when it gets dark anymore. I need good light. So now I just have to sand this down, mud the whole thing. But for now I want to finish this metal work. There's my metal done. I got to build it up quite a bit through here, so it'll be good. I'll put a little fiberglass on that. This fiberglass looks terrible, but it's on smooth. See my high spots? And I'll get this thing knocked down and see what happens. Alright, I filled that all up with fiberglass. I'm using that little Bondo spreader there to kind of keep me a gap in it. I'll let that harden up and I can start sanding it down. Well, we'll try to get a thin coat of Bondo on this door here. I looked at this last night and it was really bad. The skim coat I put on here, real rough. So I figured I would do this before it got dark on me. It'll get hard pretty fast. Main thing, put it all on. Get it on the car first, and then you try to smooth it later. The more you work it, the faster it dries. So I'm just trying to get this on here as good as I can. Don't really look like I got enough. This is just regular Bondo with some spinner in it. Yeah. I don't think I made enough. Basically, that's all I got. Now I'm just smoothing it. Trying to get this as thin as I can and even to save myself a lot of sanding. This guy on YouTube, Chad Hiltz, Bad Chad, he's always talking about when a flood the ocean floor. You don't want to, you start sanding, you go down to the rocks, and you don't want to go any deeper. It's kind of a interesting guy. I was talking about flooding the ocean floor. Put too much hardener in this. It's gonna go get hard on me before I'm done here. Now at this point I'm just trying to rush to get my white marks out of it more than anything. Not trying to get fancy with it at all. Just trying to get it all on without a lot of wipe strokes in it. And it looks like it's pretty good. Hardening up on me pretty fast. At this point, take some of this that's left, put it in this other section I know was low, and try to knock out some of the real high spots. I can't do much more with that door without messing it up. I'm going to call that good for today. I sanded down my fiberglass corner here. That looks pretty good. I've still got it a little high in here, but I'm hitting the metal in a couple places, so I'm good enough. And I got it pretty close to the gap of this door. And this final skin didn't look too bad. I should have mixed more up, but didn't. Didn't realize it was going to take that much. Anyway, an hour or so of sanding tomorrow, and I'll be able to paint all this. I got a little while still on this one. I have to put another coat of Bondo on it. I got to figure out how to get that antenna out of there. It won't turn. Usually these just turn off, but apparently that one comes up from the bottom, and I was trying to rip it off, but I got to thinking, you know, it's probably an expensive antenna, so I'll try to save it. Anyway, that's a short day today, but got something done on it. At least I got this patch welded up and ground off. Alright, I filled this all up with good thin body filler, and I tried to fill it up. I'm just using this scraper in here to try to get my little curve or a gap, but this should sand off pretty easily. And then I can go ahead and I'll sand the rest of this stuff while it's drying. Shouldn't take too long. Alright. See what our sanding results are going to be here. Get that. Yeah, my just got it plugged up. I don't know if you can see, but we just put a new piece of 40 grit on. Part of this was a when I'd done it in the dark, I had way too, it wasn't smooth, so it takes a lot of extra grinding. Yeah, this Canon. It's got 8 GB memory. Yeah, pretty good. It's but there's no way to plug in a mic, and this also captures the MP4 camera that's recording this here now. It captures it in AVI. But anyway, 2 little cameras trying to get you some better video here. I don't know how successful I'll be, but like anything I'm good at it, I'll figure it out sooner or later. Well, it's about the only way I can control this dust. I'm not inside the shop, so at least I can get it hooked up to some degree. Still goes everywhere. We can get the majority of it. Even in the shop, you know, the stuff is everywhere. I got to thinking about this, and standing back here looking at it, this all looks real good. This is kind of high, but the line on this bumper right here and the door is straight. I've got this gap pretty good, but what I've got is a big gap in here. On the back of the door, it's good. Right here on front, it's pretty big. It's twice as big as what I would like it to be. And this is quite a bit of Mondo that was went in here and overlaid it. Kind of see there that I got a pretty big gap. What I was going to try to do is take this fender off and try to move it around and adjust it, but with this gap being good here and parallel here, and also my body line is parallel, I'm not going to be able to change this very much, even if I took the bumper off and tried to bend it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sand this fender here on the inside, rough it up real good so the bond will stick, and I've got a 3/8 of an inch lip in here that I can bring this bond out. And I've got, like I said, a few low spots in this, but I think what I want to do is prime this so I can see what I really do have in there. And I think by the time I get this filled up today and a nice body line in here, I can sand this down and then just prime this whole area so it'll see what it looks like. And if I got some more imperfections in this, then I'll clean that up once I see the primer. But it's in really good shape right here. It might be sticking out a little bit on the bottom there, but it's real good all the way around. Now I can still work on this gap. It's not really gonna change too much. So any little adjustments I need to do in here, it's easy enough to just sand this stuff out. Till I get a good gap. That looks pretty good right there. So this would be fairly easy to work out. I'm real close here. A little primer won't hurt it. I can always resand it, rough it up, and but I think I need to fill this just on this edge to get it up to the cowl, because I'm hitting my metal here. And I can't really lower this cowl too much more. Because I am starting to hit metal. It won't do me any good to try to get any lower than that. And it's good across here, good across here, good across here, it's good across here. So rather than trying to take this fender off and do any more adjusting, I'm going to go ahead and rough it up here on the inside and see if I can close this gap up. So I'm going to mix up some Bondo and put in the back of this and see what kind of results I can get. The bottom is going to clear good. Right here at the top, it's got to have a pretty good angle so that the door won't hit the fender when it opens, and I have to leave enough room for paint and all that other stuff in there. So that's what I'm going to do, try to fill this up and see how it goes. I'll see if I can get you set up in there when I do that. Alright, I kind of trimmed that up a little while it was still wet. Looks like I need a lot more down in the bottom. The top is probably pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and mix up another batch and put down in that bottom place. And I think the top's going to be pretty close, but I obviously need more down there. I've been out here for an hour fooling with this, and I got it where it's almost clear, and it's hitting right here, and it looks like a little right there in the right in this area, and maybe a little right up there on top. What I've been doing is using a metal scraper and just trying to go in here and sand. Kind of hard to do with one hand, but you can see by the steel how much Bondo's in that bottom, so I've improved it. This one can't get much better or much smaller, so I just keep sanding. Well, I forgot to turn on the microphone here. But what I was doing was opening up this door and trying to sand it, and then I'll check the door and it was hit the Bondo, and I go back and I'd sand it a little more. And I just worked on this for quite a while here, where the door would clear and everything was matching, and the Bondo scraper and the gap that I wound up with was 2 pieces of 40 grit and the width of a Bondo scraper. And that's all I did here. Well, I mixed this pretty hot. By hot, I mean I put a lot of hardener in it. It's not really cold out here today, so it's gonna
Oh, what are you doing?
harden pretty fast.
Huh?
What am I doing? Fixing the car.
Oh, you'll make it fixing a hole or something?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. You
Yep.
do all kinds of work?
I do.
Even mechanical?
Yep.
My car needs brakes fixed.
Okay. Well, I got to do this right now
No,
because it'll harden up, but I'll talk to you later.
Not today or anything like that, because
Sure.
I'm kind of got some things going on. But
Yeah, because
I
this.
think the brakes on a Mustang, it's drivable. I gotta fix it's stuck. The brakes stuck, so it needs to be replaced, all the brakes. But we'll talk later.
Okay, yeah, because this, I only got a couple minutes to put this on that gets hard.
I got a couple things. Today's not good.
Where are you at?
Number 3?
Number 3? Sure.
For later, another day.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Some lady wanted me to work on a car. There's a, I think that's the one, there's a 67 fastback Mustang over there. And I think that's the lady that owns it. I tried to buy it several times. They didn't want any part of it. No. It's a family heirloom. I offered them $10,000 for it. Didn't want anything to do with me. But looks like now she needs some brakes fixed, so maybe that's what they're trying to do. And I still like to have that Mustang 67 fastback. It's been under a tarp there for several years that I know of. Been there ever since I've been here. This is really not going on good. Kind of just lumping it on the outside. I'll try to get this squished in behind it if I can. Not cooperating too well. Kind of got it in. Oh wow. Well, I found out right away that where that was going to be. So all I can do is force this bundle in there best I can. This is going to take me a couple times. Harder than I thought it was going to be. Down here on the bottom, I didn't really get hardly any in there. Try to get as much of this in here as I can before it gets hard. Sort of got it in. I didn't think I was going to be able to get it first try. It's starting to get hard on me a little. Keep filling it up. Now that looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and let this dry and take a knife or something and trim this up a little bit. So I can open the door. Well, I got this pretty straight in here with a rasp. clearing pretty good. This all looks good. It's a little close right there. I need to trim that back a little. And it's got a real sharp edge on it. I need to round that off. It's not too ideal. Not the same size at the bottom it is the top, but I can open that bottom one up a little more, and it's roughly the same size as this. It's a big improvement over what it was. Couldn't really do too much to this top, a little bit. But basically, that's pretty straight. That fender's still got to either go in or the door's got to come out. I don't know which one will be which. I would say that the fender's probably got to go in. I may put another bolt down in here, and well, it ain't going nowhere. Maybe I'll just kind of fill that door up a little to match the fender. That's probably the fastest and easiest thing to do. I can taper it back to about here somewhere. It'll look fine. So anyway, a little more rasp work here. Try to get this gap the same all the way up and down. I'll probably take this looks like a plastic spreader and 2 pieces of sandpaper width, and I'll just run that up and down there. See if I can open that up a little. Fooled around with that some more. Now what I wound up doing was boring that and putting a screw in it, and it's pulled it in almost perfect. So I'll just leave that alone. I think my little aluminum panel will go across there and cover that screw up. It was kinked, so that screw pulled it in pretty good. This is all real straight now. So now I'm just going to cover this with a skin and Bondo over both sides and sand it again, and then clean up my groove one last time, and I should be able to prime this thing. Still daylight, so I'll be alright. Alright, there's my skim coat on it. This is almost flush. That screw pulled it in nice. I just knocked out my still not wet Bondo. Put a little what was left here on it. So basically I just have to let this harden a little and DA it, and I can squirt some paint on it, primer anyway. So that's what I'll do, just mask this so I don't get paint all over my glass, and DA it, and then we'll squirt some primer on it. Well, there it is in primer. Mostly 40 grit sanding, some 80 grit. There's places here I didn't do. I still see some 40 grit DA marks. Little rough edges right in here. But the door turned out pretty decent. Door and fender. This turned out pretty good. I still have to put a curve in that. I'm just trying to get some primer on it, make it look all the same. Should have done that little place right there. I may do that just to just DA it off real quick, and I'll still get a little primer in the can and finish that. I just hit those 2 or 3 little spots. So there's this side. Basically all the body's work is finished. It's all straight. Looks kind of patchy, but that's because that Bondo's still, or the paint's still wet. Bondo's still kind of wet. Let this dry a couple days, but anyway, both sides of the car are done. There's this one, and this side, all the back's finished. I just have to work a little bit on that body line. It's all done all around the door. Looks like I might have right there in front of that wheel bit. The back is all finished. All the valence, all the welds. Everything's good here. My windows are not leaking. This side is good up to here. So really all I got left is the roof and this cowl. Be a subject of another video, but for now it's all the body work. Of course, I still got a lot of sanding to do before paint, but this was the hard part.